All right. Let's just start. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my podcast, the Chickachar Podcast.
Thank you for having us.
We're having Matt and Danny from GIANTESS back. We actually did a podcast. I recorded a podcast one time on one of our trips in the car. Do you guys remember that?
I do remember
I
that.
do.
With the GoPro?
I kind of forgot about that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
But
if I ever
That one
saw
got
that.
really weird.
What's that?
That got really weird.
It got really weird.
yeah.
Was that like on the way back from Bend or something?
We were on the way to, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, we're here to kind of talk about and promote our album that's releasing this week. It's called Softcore by our band GIANTESS. And we're pretty thrilled and happy with it. And yeah, it comes out Friday.
Yes, Friday the 25th.
Friday the 25th. And
July 2025.
yeah, going to try to have this podcast out there by then so you guys can listen and kind of learn a little bit about it and about us. But yeah, let's see. Where do we start here? Dude, I don't know.
I guess like what our band is and what we do and
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm Charles, and I play drums in the band. I help with production, audio, and things of that nature. Yeah, Matt, tell them what you do.
I play the bass guitar and the didgeridoo, and then also on this, I don't do it a lot, but I also do some backup vocals. I do that, and then some sampling and synthesizers. What about Daniel? What do you do?
What's Dan do?
Dan,
Daniel.
Lieutenant Dangle.
Danny.
I start out, I write most of the songs just from the bass level at least. I don't do
Indeed.
any of the bass parts or
I
the
write
drum
the
parts.
bass.
I try to write the bass parts, but Matt doesn't let me. And then I play the guitar and I sing as well and I yell.
Real loud.
I wouldn't call it a scream. I'd call it more of a yell.
He's our yeller.
The yeller.
Old yeller.
Yeah, no, it's GIANTESS for lack of a better name. We call or for lack of a better genre.
Hey, I think it's a great
hold
name.
on. Yeah, let me finish. For lack of a better genre title, let's say we like to call it space pirate grunge, or at least that's what I tell people. You kind of gotta just. I've always had a hard time putting a finger on any particular genre that I stay within. I feel like everybody says that, so, take it with a grain of salt. Call me what you will.
I think people get uncomfortable when I ask them what our music sounds like.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'd be like, what does it sound like? And they're like, I guess like
Oh, they don't know what to say?
rock.
Yeah. I know. I just say alternative rock, but that's way too broad.
Yeah.
So vague.
Yeah, it's too vague.
Well, that's why I like softcore for a genre.
Yeah.
We've talked about that before.
How did we even come up with that? I think, Danny, you just...
I just thought
And
it
we
was,
just loved it.
I
Thought
thought
it
it
was funny.
sounded really funny. GIANTESS
Oh,
softcore.
well,
It kind
also-
of plays into how hard it is to Google our name.
Yeah.
If you do Google it, make
don't
sure
put
you
music.
have your parents with you, and or do not, and type in GIANTESS music or something if you're trying to find us through Google.
Otherwise, you might find
Or
some weird
YouTube
stuff.
for that matter. If you're trying to find this, type in GIANTESS podcast or something. That still might yield some strange search results, but we'll see.
Well, like when you talk about like our genre, it's like there's hardcore music, which is not us.
Yeah.
But it's like we're soft.
But I come from like a pretty heavy metal background.
Yeah.
And I try to like slip that into our songs a lot. And I think it comes off as softcore.
Yeah, it's softcore music.
And I'm still for the band and just like the sake of what a lot of these songs have become and the flow of energy. Like I'm learning how to yell. Still learning. It's an ever-going practice, and it requires a lot of attention to my health and everything that I, in past years hadn't really needed to worry about. So it requires.
We're trying to get him to quit vaping.
I've mostly quit, but it's a hard thing to just
He tried to relapse.
power
a
through
little bit ago.
Yeah.
a set. So big respect to any touring bands that yell every single night or most of the nights of the week.
Dude, when
crazy.
I saw Lamb of God, remember Randy Blythe? I remember seeing him go and take a huge drag off of a cigarette and then cup the mic and then just right into it, and all the smoke fills the capsule.
Oh, man.
Was so fucking brutal.
One time I was at a Lamb of God show, and this was in Portland. I think it was at the the Roseland Theater. But there was like these pillars that were in like the middle of the, I guess what would be the dance floor in front of the stage. There's like 2 pillars, and there was like circle pits going, and there's this kid like climbed all the way up one of the pillars and was like up to the ceiling, was like hanging off of it. And Randy was like, had the circle pits going. He's like, "Are you ready?" to the crowd, and they're like, "Yeah!" And then he points to the kid that's climbed up the pole, and he's like, "Are you ready?" And the kid's like, "Yeah!" And then just fucking chaos, mosh pit, wall of death right after that.
Did he jump?
No, he stayed up there, and then he climbed back down and got back in the pit. But
I had a similar experience seeing Lamb of God. Because there was a wall of death and shit. But
Yeah.
I saw him at Ozfest. I think it was like 2006.
Were you the guy on the
2007.
pole, Matt?
No, Ozzy Osbourne was.
What?
Yeah, it was Ozfest.
oh yeah, you told me that he got stuck up there, and they had to
Yeah.
help him get down.
Yeah, it was like Ozfest 2006 at the Gorge, and at a certain point of the show, Ozzy he's singing on something, and he was not singing very well. He was like,
You wanna get a little
"Sorry."
closer to that?
He's like, "Sorry, I'm kind of sick," and he was doing terrible, but he was still really entertaining. And he decides at a certain point he's gonna climb up the like big wall. They had like the stage had like this wall, and he climbs up it, and he gets way the fuck up there, and you can see the whole band's getting really worried about him because he's still at this point like 68 years old or
Yeah.
something. And he gets way up there, and then eventually you can hear him he's singing, and he's like, "Okay, I can't get down." And while he's saying this, like they're still playing, and then they finish the song, and see Zach Wilde get right underneath him, and he's like, "Come, what are you doing, old man?" And then they have like one of the techs climbs up the wall with him and then takes the mic from him and just kind of holds his hand and his arm and like, you got this, old man," and helped him down.
That's insane.
It's pretty funny.
He's way too old for that.
Way too old. To
I
be
can't believe
doing
he's still playing. He sounds.
Oh, shoot, that
he's-
was like
it's a-
20 years ago. Still.
That would have been 20 years ago.
It's weird how he
Still
sounds.
probably
19
too
years
old.
ago,
He
yeah.
sounds better. He sounds normal when he sings, and then when he talks, he's.
Yeah, that's
you
what
can-
everyone says, but the one time I saw him live, he did not sound normal.
Oh really?
No.
Oh.
No, I have
People
seen
tell me
videos
that
of
too
that.
sometimes.
You sound normal when you sing.
People tell me sometimes that I sound nothing like.
Danny, will
like,
you point that mic at you a little bit more?
Some people say that I sound nothing like my talking voice sounds nothing like my singing voice, which, whatever that means. I feel like I have a few different talking voices and also a few different singing voices, so they got to coincide eventually.
Yeah.
As would Ozzy's, I would hope.
Nice. Good times.
Mr. Crowley.
So let's talk about the Ozzy Osbourne cover band we're about to start.
Yeah. Well, we did do a cover of an Ozzy song at the New Year's show.
we
Danny
did,
and I
we did
a-
Crazy Train.
We did a cover band on New Year's, and we had to learn Crazy Train. That was a hard one for Danny.
Yeah, we learned like 47 songs for that, I
a
think.
lot of songs.
did.
That
Not
was
me.
like the biggest task I think I've ever taken on musically, honestly. Like,
Really?
maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
learning 47 songs, and I think it was like 45 days.
We did learn them all really fast,
We
yeah.
had like a month and a half. And it was a New Year's Eve show this last New Year's Eve.
Super fun.
It was pretty fun, yeah. It was a good,
We
it
played
was a
with
good gig.
Hot Fuzz. Shout out to Hot Fuzz.
Shout out Hot Fuzz.
Hey.
Hey, let's talk about the album.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we
see.
wrote this.
It's like 3 years in
album
the
and
making.
recorded
It took us like 3 years to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it started out with like not a whole lot of vision for what would be the album. We just kind of, if you were there at the time, or if you don't know, we released Space Cadet first. That was like our first single as a band that we put out, and kind of hung on that for a bit. We made a really sweet music video for that with our friend Adam.
Who also
Adam Lansky. Shout out Adam Lansky.
helped us with a lot of the recording and then the mix and master.
Yeah, on the whole album itself too. In the long run. And
Yeah,
then,
that first recording turned out really good. I feel like we got a lot of momentum from that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after Space Cadet, we released the self-titled track Giantess. And then it was Houston's MIA and then Doom Bop. So we did four single releases before we even started on the other 6 songs on the album. It's 10 songs. I mean, we had them all written. There's 2 that Matt and Charles hadn't quite learned all the way through yet until pretty close to the time where we started recording it. But the process, we had the idea somewhere to rent an Airbnb in over on like Waldport, just
Seal
on
Rock.
the beach. Yeah, Seal Rock.
Oregon
yeah,
Coast.
rented that out in January. It was like January 17th through the 20th, I think, or the 19th. And yeah, just got a whole weekend over there.
We just turned this house into a recording studio.
Yeah, it's this
Yeah.
big like 2-story house with a like sub-level basement too, and or like sub-level garage, and yeah, we like set up the drums in the top floor living room, and then a guitar amp in one of the rooms, bass amp in the other rooms, and then like vocal booth in the hallway.
We made like a little was like a studio booth in the laundry room where Adam was with all the gear.
Yeah, the control room.
The control room, yeah.
Yeah, so we had cables running all throughout
through
the
the house.
house. Yeah, like Adam Lansky had brought a ton of great recording equipment.
Yeah, we
and
probably had like
microphones.
$50,000 worth of gear in that house.
Yeah.
At that time.
It was crazy too because we left a little note on their kitchen counter. They had a little notebook for guests to talk about their experience in, and we brought it up. We're like, hey, we rented your spot for the weekend, and we brought in like $50,000 worth of recording gear and recorded an album. And I was working at Guitar Center for a little bit, and I was helping some people, and it was really busy. And I hear this older gentleman. He's talking, and he's just like, "Yeah, no, I had this band." He was talking to one of the other customers, and he's just like, "I had this band rent my Airbnb. They left a note and said they brought in like $40,000 worth of equipment and recorded a whole album." And I was like, "Dude, I think that was my band." And
What are the odds?
yeah, what are the odds?
It also was Danny was working in Eugene.
Yeah.
And this was
On the
was
Oregon
in Seal
coast.
Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's,
yeah,
that's
so
kind
I
of
mean, probably the biggest music store within 100 miles of Seal Rock, I'd assume.
I guess you're right. But still kind of wild.
Yeah, it's still a small world. That
For you
guy
to
was
even
a
just
musician
overhear that
too.
conversation while you're
Yeah.
working one day.
I know. I just happened to be there that day at the same time as him, and he was talking about it. And yeah, he was part of one of the radio stations here. I don't remember his name or which radio station, but yeah, for a long time he was retired. But
Too bad we could be on that radio station.
probably, yeah. I mean, why not?
would've been cool.
We should hit up more radio stations. If you guys have any recommendations for a good local radio station, please leave them in the comments or send them to us. Whatever you can think of.
Which I'll say we did the like bulk of this album. I guess was recorded in that trip. You know, there was a
Yeah,
pretty big chunk,
big
of it.
bulk of it.
And before that, we were really mixing it up because we kind of took on recording this ourselves with help. Obviously, Adam Lansky
So we had
helped a ton.
the four that you mentioned: Space Cadet. What was it?
Giantess, Houston's MIA, and Doombop.
So we had those four kind of in the can already, and then we went to the Oregon Coast to record the other five, which was what were they? They're Slam Poet, Houston's MIA, Coffee Copenhagen, and Space Captain.
and
we-
Jabberwocky too.
Oh, and Jabberwocky. Okay, so we recorded those five at the Oregon Coast. We did track a little bit of drums, but actually ended up having another session later and re-recording those in here. But we got pretty much all of the vocals and guitars in that session, and then there's one more track on the album that's like a little interlude. We call it Intercom, and we wrote that in like what two nights.
Yeah,
Like-
it was like a little riff that I had kind of burning in the back of my mind that like followed the similar riff to the ending song Space Captain, to like the intro riff
we
for
needed a
that.
transition from
And yeah, it
one
felt
to
like
the
it
other.
needed a transition, and I had been messing with that and like leading it into the intro, and I was like, guys, we should do this real quick. And I'd brought it up a few times, but then once we had the whole album in its entirety, I think it made a lot more sense to everybody. Where we're like, yeah, there could be something to bridge that gap right there.
Well, you
And-
guys sent it over to me, and we're like, "Here, put it in your part." And I was like, sure. And
sent it
then
back with synthesizers.
I sent it back
and-
with instead of just bass. I sent it back with synthesizers and
and a
with that
JFK
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
That really
I was like,
tied
I
it
like
together.
this, but I'm doing a lot more than just what you guys, asked.
Well,
me to
you had
do.
talked about that JFK clip
Yeah, I
too.
wanted
You
to
said
use it
you've
in
had it
something.
forever for whatever reason. You've had the soundbite for a long time and wanted to use it. And I was like, hell yeah, definitely.
dude. But I heard that, and I was like, this works. This has got to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how quick we were able to whip it up. I feel like too towards the end of this album, we kind of started to get our process down pretty well. I think hopefully going into the next one, I think once we kind of have the material written, the capturing part of it, I think it'll go pretty quick.
A lot of it is written too currently. I've been writing up and whipping up a bunch of new stuff that all kind of fits the band. I think, you know, in time, once it's translated from me just writing it on an acoustic guitar into full, like, you know, space pirate grunge band, there'll be some good ones on the next album.
A lot of times Danny comes to us like with songs basically already fully written, and we just have to write our parts to him.
Yeah. Or kind of help. A lot of it too is also kind of making it flow, switch from acoustic guitar to full band. Sometimes we kind of move things a little bit.
Move it from acoustic to electric.
Yeah. Sometimes we make parts a little longer, a little shorter, transitions a little different to make it.
It takes a second for me too, because for the longest time, me playing guitar, I've been playing guitar for about 20 years, and longest time I mostly played acoustic just because of, you know, I just like to go hang out in parks and play at the park or whatever. Didn't have electricity all the time. And then after a while, well, once we formed the band, I was like, yeah, this needs to be electric, you know, and it's kind of a different animal, you know, it's the same progressions, everything works the same way, but it's a totally different instrument though at the same time. And so me switching back and forth, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it again, you know, whichever way I go. So like it'll be either, okay, we're like finishing touches stage of turning this into a big Giantess song, or shoot, lost where I was. Sorry guys, we'll cut that out.
Of these songs, what song is each of your guys' favorites?
I'll go first. I really love Space Captain, which is the very last track. I just love like the intro, the complexity of the intro, and then it just like turns into this like dance track almost at the end. It just goes hard and it's like dancey at the end.
That was my favorite one to write when it all came together finally. It's definitely probably my favorite one to write. I want to say that's my favorite song on the album too, but since Charles already took it, I feel,
You know, one part I really love on the album, later in the, like towards like the second half, I guess basically of Slam Poet. There's some really metal parts in there, and it just it gets so awesome.
Yeah, I really like the way Slam Poet turned out.
There's there's a really great breakdown too in Coffee Copenhagen that I'm really stoked on.
I think Coffee Copenhagen's my favorite song on the album.
Yeah, that one's really fun.
That's a fun one to play too. That one and Houston's MIA. They're both like fast punk rock songs.
Yeah, I think you know, I have a reason to like love every single one of them. Houston's MIA is probably one of my favorite ones to play, just because it's like it's kind of easy for me to play it. You know, it is. There's a lot of like switching around and moving up the neck and stuff for it being all like just chords, you know, that I'm playing. But just like the cohesiveness of the storyline and everything with that song is one of my favorite things about it. Recently, with the whole album in its order, in its entirety, I've gained, you know, a second love for Giantess, the self-titled track, and just the way that it fits into the album now. It just makes everything about that song make a lot more sense to me with its timing and stuff, and like where the solo is at in the song and everything.
That's
like,
a fun one. It's like a cool rock waltz.
Yeah, rock waltz. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Which I like that we did that where we got the dance going on. Danny taught like a waltz.
Oh, he did some ballroom dancing.
Dancing in it.
It was pretty crowded, so I mean, I did what I could, but yeah, at the Infinity Room, which was one of our coolest recent shows. It was Make Music Day at the Infinity Room.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. It was their last day in business. Yeah, it makes me almost tear up right now. Even
also was my job.
yeah. Matt's unemployed. No, I'm just kidding, Matt.
Kinda.
Matt has more work than anybody else I know.
I remembered. Remember when we were recording Jabberwocky at the Coast, and Matt, you had an idea for that. Like, there's like a bridge section in there where I switched to the toms, and that wasn't originally in there, but Matt had this idea, and I humored him on it, and it just stuck, and it was really good. So that bridge was just kind of improvised in the moment there when we were recording that one, and it turned out really good. I'm stoked on that part.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. I feel like you guys were kind of like, yeah, that'd be kind of cool, but kind of on the edge, and we did it. I'm really happy you humored me on it.
Yeah,
because I think
me too.
It really makes the song do a lot more of this, and also it adds this kind of like dark night dance. I don't know. It's spooky.
Like tribal toms.
Yeah,
it's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's just like it makes it more distinguishable as a breakdown within that section of the song, you know, because the whole song kind of shifts to this. It's like it's still the same general pocket, but it shifts a little bit and it changes the riff a little and everything. So I think those drums really pulled that together. And it's crazy that we played it the other way for so long. And I mean, it was good, but yeah, this adds a lot to it.
I also
Make sure you
was
get that
thinking-
mic close to you, Matt.
I was thinking it'd be kind of cool for you to talk about, Danny, the song order, because like not only is our album like a compilation of songs we wrote, there's also kind of a storyline behind it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and Danny was really careful about that, and I think it kind of ties the album together in a nice way because like the whole story of this character. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, there's a few characters
Does
involved
anybody
in
else need
it.
another beer?
I'm good at the moment.
Don't tell me it was a good time.
So it started with Space Cadet. I feel that Space Cadet's kind of it was the best intro for it with all 10 songs because it kind of sets the scene of it being just this starting point. You know, they're starting on Earth and they're traveling all the way through space. One of the fun things about that song when I wrote it is, you know, it's talking about all these celestial objects that are in our solar system. And it uses them all in order by distance. So it's like the guy is traveling through space and he's passing by each of these objects consecutively. And that is the order that, you know, in a perfect shot, if everything was lined up, that is the order you would pass them in.
I got to interject you for a second. I talked to the director of the Evergreen Space Museum, which is where the Spruce Goose lives. And
way.
I talked to him personally and asked him if he would listen to Space Cadet and if you were correct, Danny. And he's like, he's pretty good. He's like, I think it's I would say about 95% correct.
Wow.
Well, the only thing where it slips up
He
is
was
that
really impressed. Like, he was really impressed. That's the director of the Evergreen Space Museum.
Nice.
it's like the Air and Space, is it? That's the
Air
one
and
with the
Space?
Spruce Goose
Yeah,
you
the one
said?
with
Yeah,
Spruce
they got all
Goose,
the
yeah.
planes and stuff
Yeah, he was
there.
impressed. So
That's cool. We got to try to do a music video in the
he said we
Spruce
could do
Goose.
it.
Oh, that'd
He
be
said
cool.
we could.
Really?
Really?
Well, no, okay. He's like, I don't know if you can do it inside. I'll see what I can do.
Dude, that would be the way.
So you
that
can
would
do
be
it.
so cool.
He said we definitely could do it there, and we could do it in front of the Spruce Goose. Whether or not we did it inside is maybe.
in front would still be pretty cool. But
Probably be the first person to ever do it.
well, then I guess if we want to keep talking about the order,
yeah, I'll get back to you.
second track goes into Doom Bop, which is kind of more of like it's like setting the scene for what's happening back on Earth, and it's more of like a top-down perspective. There's just a narrator kind of talking about what's happening on Earth. Then it goes into Slam Poet, which, you know, I want people to kind of draw their own conclusions about it. I don't want to put it too much into a box, but it's about Houston himself. And, you know, it's what's leading up to him going MIA and leaving his post at the command, you know, and then and just, you know, all the stresses of life and growing up on this planet that's dying. And with, you know, all politicians and everything just trying to get money from you, corporations, all that. Then it goes into Houston's MIA, where it's this underpaid dude with a very high position. He can't afford his rent, can't afford anything else. And then he gets a bribe all of a sudden to leave his post. And it's kind of from the perspective of the, you know, the spaceship and the people that are trying to get a hold of Houston, but they can't get a hold of him. So they're going to crash land or, you know, whatever it may be. A lot of these songs have to do with a crash landing of some sorts, flying and crashing and, you know, having a janky underfunded spaceship of sorts. Then it goes into Coffee Copenhagen, which is more about the actual crash landing. There's a lot of themes of addiction in that song, kind of dances around it too. That one was a fun one to write because it was just the way it was inspired was really fun. I was working on a wildfire in right out of Oak Ridge, Oregon, and you know, I'm a private contractor, so they just kind of, we get to a fire and they're like, hey, go do this, go do that, whatever. We do whatever they tell us to. And this time around, they just needed us to serve food instead of fight fire. So we were just serving food to all the firefighters the whole time we were there for like 5 weeks or so. And I kept making this joke because I kept serving coffee to all the firefighters every morning. I kept making the same joke to most people. I'm like, oh yeah, they say it's water that puts out the fire, but it's actually this coffee. And this one guy, he's just like, he starts laughing and he's like, that's right, you get the right coffee Copenhagen ratio and away we go. And I like scrambled for a pen. We're like in the middle of a field, just serving food. And I just find a pen and just write that on
perfect.
my arm. I was just like, the right coffee Copenhagen ratio and away we go. And that turned into the song. Giantess, it's kind of a curveball a little bit, but it kind of dances around and brings in this kind of medieval layer to the whole storyline. And so it's kind of like this little medieval happening in space,
That was our first song we wrote for this band, though.
I think that's true. Yeah,
wrote that
Space
campaign.
Cadet. Yeah, I wrote Space Cadet before we formed the band. And actually,
but
it
for
was
the band Giantess, we wrote that because we were
Right.
camping, and right as we were like, let's do this official. Let's make this relationship official. Dan." And then we were camping.
I don't
though.
remember that, but
We were camping, and
I do actually remember what inspired the first line too. Is it was Maddie and James we were camping with, and me and Maddie like ran to the car to get like toilet paper or something, and we got out and it
for
was
a
like
group poop.
yeah, for a group poop, and the moon's shining perfectly on the road, and we're getting into the car, and then she like looks up at the moon and she's like, "Smite me." And then I was like, "Smite me, sweet woman," and just like wrote almost the entire song that night while we were camping.
Well, dude, I was like, we should do this in 3.
Yeah, and then that was
And it was kind of hard to start because you had written something that you were doing with it, and then it was kind of hard to change it from 4 to 3, but it worked.
yeah, no, we made it work for sure. Jabberwocky kind of keeps tying back into this idea of like medieval monsters and stuff. If you don't know the Jabberwocky poem, it's a poem written by Lewis Carroll. It's made famous from Alice in Wonderland. Yeah, that was actually a pretty fun one too when I was like 17, just with my friend Ellen Sealander and Braden Hirsch. Shout out to both of them. We were hanging out at Ellen's little studio in her backyard when she lived with her parents, and she had this little book of poems, and I was jamming on that riff for Jabberwocky. And then she like handed the poem to BJ, and he just starts, or Braden Hirsch, rather, we call him BJ, but
Or Beej.
yeah, or Beej.
The Beej.
He starts reciting the Jabberwocky poem over that riff, and so it kind of became a thing for a long time. And it's almost a little embarrassing that I still play it like 13 years later, but it's evolved in
it's
a lot
good.
of ways. We've turned it all electric. It used to
Didn't
just
have
be like
didgeridoo.
didn't have didgeridoo. It didn't really have drums either. I
Didn't-
don't remember if Ellen ever played drums for it. The three of us were a little band back in high school, but it didn't last super long, but it was a fun time. Did you have to pause that for a second?
I was just restarting the video. The camera's got a 30-minute timer, so I have to reset it every 30 minutes.
You guys want to take a break for a second?
You gotta pee. I gotta pee.
I gotta pee,
Yeah, you want to
yeah.
take a little, quick
Yeah.
little pause? Okay, we can do that. All right, we're back. Had to go for a little pee break.
So back to the songs, I suppose.
Where were we? We were talking about.
So I was talking about
Jabberwocky.
how Ellen, Braden, and I were a little three-piece back in high school. We played Jabberwocky a few times. I don't know if Ellen ever did drums for it, but it was always acoustic. We never had didgeridoo on it. So it's evolved over the last, 13, 14 years since we've been jamming on it. But yeah, and then what felt like the natural progression after that was Have No Fear, which is track number 8. And that was actually
one of my favorites too, by the way.
Yeah, that's one.
It's a sweet one.
Yeah, it's kind of maybe the sweetest one I've ever written, and that's how I feel about it, at least. With sweet things that have a cohesive kind of storyline, almost. It really ties a lot back into Giantess too, especially with like the wordplay in the beginning. Like Giantess starts with "Smite me, sweet woman," and then Have No Fear starts with "Knight me, woman." So it's kind of.
They're both in 6.
They're both in 6 as well, both very waltzy, really like fast waltz though. Even Have No Fear, which is a little slower than Giantess, is still kind of fast. Actually, I'm not sure which one's faster. feels slower, but it might be faster. But anyway,
Give us the exact beat per minute of these, Charles.
I can't even remember.
yeah, off the top
What kind
of
of
your
drummer
head.
are you?
That felt like the natural progression there. So those three kind of tie in this like underlying like monster mythology story happening within it.
We
Might
do
be
like
on it might be on just Mars, might be a little bit on Mars, a little bit on Earth, Venus, Jupiter, Io, Neptune. I never mentioned Neptune yet in any of them. But and then Intercom was the little interlude because, you know, Have No Fear of Ghosts. It ends on a real sweet, soft note, and then Space Captain comes in on a real heavy note. And so we kind of bridged that gap with Intercom, which is the one we were just talking about with the JFK soundbite clip of him talking about why we're going to the moon and why it's important for humanity. And with just like a cool little riff that bridges the gap, Charles added a bunch of different random percussion
Like
that we have lying
cajon
around
and
the room.
shakers.
Would you
I
play
had,
play a little sweet diddly for us?
Oh yeah, so that reminds me. We're supposed to start the podcast with this.
No, I think we did. Or maybe we didn't.
Yeah, it has a little bit of that sound bowl. Ooh, that comes through nicely.
Yeah, but there's some cajon, some singing bowl, shakers, tambourine, bunch of just like weird little percussion stuff.
What was that one that you had? It's like the stick with, it looks almost like a bunch of bones attached to it.
Oh yeah, I have like some kind of a rattle. I got it at a powwow actually, a gig that I played with some indigenous friends of mine. So I figured might as well throw that in there too. Just kind of had like whatever instruments I didn't already use on the album and kind of just put them all, whatever else was left in there.
Yeah, it was really quick. Me and Charles like recorded
I was
all of our
really-
parts
Yeah, we
in
busted
one
that
night.
out in like
Yeah.
2 days. I feel like.
I mean, yeah, the whole thing and like, yeah, I mean, what would have been 2 days, 2, maybe 3 days.
We
just
had
to
the
get it
album
all
like
set
almost
up.
done. We had sent it off to get mastered by Thaddeus. By the shout out to Thaddeus at Liquid Mastering.
Yeah, Thaddeus Moore from Liquid Mastering.
But we had all the tracks there, and then we had 9, and we were like, well, it'd be nice to have 10 just to round it out, have a full album with 10 songs, and yeah, we busted that one out so fast. It was like
I'm really
2
proud of
days.
it though. Like I felt like that was like a lot of elements that I wanted to kind of throw in. That we kind of were able to get in there.
Yeah.
And also, just kind of adds like a unique flair
Yeah,
to the album.
for sure.
So-
Good transition from one track to the other.
Yeah, and it kind of brings it back into the space theme, which, so it started with Space Cadet, now it ends with Space Captain, which is arguably probably all of our favorites for one reason or another. At least me and Charles, it seems. But then,
I would say it's like my second favorite because I think Coffee Copenhagen is my favorite. And then it's tied for me between Space Captain and Jabberwocky.
Yeah,
yeah, Jabberwocky's super cool,
But
too.
I
I love
can't
the way it turned
deny
out.
that I think Space Captain is our funnest song.
Yeah.
it is fun to play.
Like that's
It's also
well, it's
like
fun to
the
play,
hardest. It's the hardest to nail live too. Like there's 1 or 2 transitions in the song that I still struggle with live. It's one we haven't
but
fully
I
mastered.
nail every time.
Yeah, well,
Matt has
Well,
never messed
the
up.
cool
it's
thing
funny
is
too
that-
because as soon as Matt started getting it right every time, I started messing it up every time. So.
Well, the thing I love about that one is that it just when we can be playing and we make everybody dance.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I love how like the
That
second
gets
half
me
of it is
exciting.
just a dance
excited.
groove.
It's funny that how often in our music we get to like kind of see people dance or kind of skank,
Yeah.
And previous to this, playing metal, it was like my exciting point all the time was when people could mosh.
Yeah.
And
That
then
still
now,
gets me most excited too. When
It
people are like
does.
truly moshing to our music,
It
it's
doesn't
like
happen
yes.
often
No, it
because we're like
doesn't.
right at that cusp where it's like you
It's
could
softcore.
almost it's softcore.
It's softcore.
It's
yeah.
softcore.
Yeah, it's like
But that
little
would-
nudges, maybe.
Hopefully, album 2 though we got a couple things.
Well,
in
I
there
think
that
the way
might be a little
that we
more
left
mosh-worthy.
it, where it ends with Space Captain, really kind of sets us up to get into the next album and this song that we've been writing. What's the Bandersnatch?
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch ties back into the Jabberwocky. It was kind of my own take on, what the main protagonist would be doing after he defeated the Jabberwocky.
Which I also props that like I mean like when you I think that's kind of a long way in the storyline, but when it starts as space cadet and ends as space captain, it's kind of badass. You know?
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
thinking.
he gone through
too.
this whole journey and then now he's space captain.
You start out as a bear cub, you leave as a full-grown bear. You know,
Is the giantess an alien?
it's a good question. I've thought a lot about that too. Is like maybe there's multiple giantesses. Maybe there's one giantess of each planet. Who knows?
yeah.
Okay, I like the idea when we were writing Giantess, I was talking to you about like imagine like an alien invasion, but how it would have been taken in medieval times.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like that's
a cool
kind
concept.
of the vibe that we were slightly going for during the writing of that. You know, and also I also love the idea with the giantess. Like imagine like a futuristic world where the giantess is taken over, and it's kind of a different like totalitarian regime, but it's also like totalitarian over like you are going to respect the earth.
Yeah.
You know, like we will not be using plastics. You will not cut down the trees.
Well,
It's
Earth
still
is a giantess.
totalitarianism. Yeah.
There's another song that I've been writing to that kind of dances around the idea of there being multiple giantesses, and they all kind of are the giantess of this or giantess of that or something. But I call them, it's called Queen of the Land, is that song. We'll see if that becomes a giantess song. It feels like one.
When you were talking about Danny, when you wrote Giantess, it reminded me of the story of how we all met at Boombox in the Boondocks.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Yeah, so we should tell that one. So we had a mutual friend that kind of brought us all together to form a band for a project that he had.
Shout out to Cameron Day.
Cameron Day, that's right.
Company of Fools.
Yeah, it was called the Company of Fools, and we played this gig called Boombox in the Boondocks.
Love Boombox
So
and the Boondocks.
I'll chime in real quick here too. Is these two? They were both in the band. I wasn't. I think Matt might have told me Boombox was happening at the time, and growing up, my older brother would always go to Boombox, and so I'd always heard about it. I had never been. It's kind of a little renegade festival that happens, somewhere
Isn't
in
it
the
out, like,
general
towards the Triangle
vicinity.
Lake?
No, it moves around. It moves around all the time.
It was around Triangle Lake that year, but it's always on private property and whatever. And so I went and got there, was hanging out with Matt, and then it turned out their bass player didn't show up. And so I actually drove all the way back to Salem, I think, which would have been a close to 2-hour drive one way. Drove to Salem to pick up Matt's bass, and I did both sets with them. They had like a 7 p.m. set or something, and then they had like a sunrise, like it was like 4 or 5 in the morning set.
Oh yeah, we played that.
And stayed up with them through the night, and at a certain point, as Cameron had been singing all weekend, and we're all at a festival having fun and whatever, he lost his voice in the middle of the night, and so it turned into just like I was like, okay, I'll sing some of my songs, like, and then Matt
We just
and
switched guitars.
yeah, so
I
Matt took the
and
bass,
he took the guitar from me.
and so then we played till like I don't know 5:30 or 6.
Well, the
We had a
caveat to
saxophone
this-
player with us and a DJ too. It
The
was sweet.
caveat to this is we just recorded Danny Shaw's solo project.
Oh right, yeah,
Yeah, we had
Danny's
just
solo
done that.
project, which we had
we
recorded
did that
with Adam.
afterward. That was
we did
after.
it
was it after?
afterwards?
That was how we met Charles, and then
That's right.
Oh, and then we hired him on to do that.
And then-
Yeah,
was
and then
that,
so
yeah.
and that must have been in August.
And that was the first time I met Adam too. Was when
Oh, yeah,
at
that
that
place.
session.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were living together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so that must have been
That
like
was the coolest roommate because, like, all of a sudden it's just like, here's a roommate that's going to teach me fucking everything about audio engineering.
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And had so much cool gear. Oh, I love Adam.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
And-
best.
yeah, and so gosh, we started doing we did that must have been August or September when we did that Boombox gig. They recruited me into the band momentarily, and then the band kind of broke up real quickly after I joined.
Company of Fools did, yeah.
Yeah. But, it wasn't my fault, I swear. And so then I
You
think
were the baby that was supposed to save us.
Yeah,
To save the
and-
relationship.
that November, me and Matt were talking, and I'd been playing a bunch of solo gigs forever, just acoustic guitar and writing singer-songwriter type stuff. And we're like, dude, let's record an EP for me. And we recorded 6 songs, and real shortly into it, like the vision kind of grew, and I was like, we should hit up Charles to do some drums for this. And we did, and I drove out to Eugene a good handful of times to kind of teach Charles the songs, and then he came up with drum parts and recorded them all. I think you actually came to Salem and recorded them in the basement.
At their
over
house,
there.
in the basement.
Yeah. I still have some pictures and maybe some video from that deep in my phone or hard
deep in the
drive.
archives,
Yeah, deep
yeah.
in the archives. I still got some of that. You look like an entirely different person now too. And this was like 2020, like the beginning.
You
maybe
didn't
even
have a
2019.
beard and you had hair like down.
I had
like
long
you could
hair.
sit on it.
Yeah.
You could sit on your hair.
Or yeah,
Yeah.
this was actually 2019, the end of 2019. And so then we had been doing some recording, and then COVID came like 4 months later and made the whole thing take like probably a year to do those 6 songs officially. And we had sent it out to Adam to get it mastered, and he was busy with a lot of life things too. So it came in time, and like some of the files got corrupted. So I think we only ended up releasing 4 of the songs, which I still want to take down. And by the time you see this, they might be gone.
Oh, they're so good. I love them. Okay, Charles.
What's up?
What are your 3 most influential artists?
3 most influential artists. Man, that is tough. I love listening to everything, all kinds of music, everything from reggae to death metal. Gosh, influential. I mean, like I said, I'm really founded in rock and metal. I think some of my favorite bands in that genre, the Black Dahlia Murder. Yeah, I love that band. I've seen them like probably 5 or 6 times.
Dude, I think they played in Salem at the Ike Box before they were famous.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah, they're great. I've seen them multiple times, and they're great. And even though now that Trevor, their former lead singer, is gone, and I forget his name, but he played guitar. He's moved on up to vocals, but they still sound just as great. They're still awesome. But anyways, yeah, I would say Black Dahlia Murder, big inspiration in the metal genre. I'm really into like prog rock and metal as well. So I really lately I've been liking Polyphia, and I love Animals as Leaders.
Yeah. I mean, you got 3. Were those your 3?
I guess so. Yeah. Then those are all like metal bands. But yeah, man,
what's your
tough to
favorite
say.
non-metal band?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I know this one.
My favorite non-metal band.
I know you love Limp Bizkit a lot, but they're kind of metal.
Yeah, they're new metal, so I don't know if that qualifies. But yeah, I do love Limp Bizkit. That was one of their CDs. Was my first CD I ever bought.
You like
and
reignited my love for them too. I'd kind of forgotten about them
I think
since
they're
I
great.
was a kid.
John
but yeah.
Otto and Wes Borland they're amazing musicians.
I feel like I used to hate on them in the same way that it was cool to hate on Nickelback.
Oh yeah.
And now it's like, dude, Nickelback's the best band there ever fucking was.
Okay, maybe for a non.
Nickelback still has
I control there.
They haven't fully grown on me yet. Still,
Yeah.
Maybe
No, I
for a
don't hate
non-metal
'em. I
artist
don't hate
that would be a top fave. I think lately I really like Oliver Tree.
yeah,
I've been
Oliver
digging on
Tree's cool.
Oliver Tree.
Very good.
Yeah, so for pop, as far as that kind of stuff goes, I'm gonna go with Oliver Tree for right now.
Oliver Tree reminds me a lot of 21 Pilots.
Yeah, they're great too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
A lot less produced.
yeah.
21 Pilots is less produced.
No, they're more produced, I feel like.
They
Maybe.
kind of blend rock
They-
and reggae
They
a little
honestly
bit too.
both sound almost like the exact same band to me.
Well,
Like-
also, I mean, like Oliver Tree's earlier stuff, it sounds more like
It's definitely his
an
stuff's
organic.
a bit
situation.
more-
It's like still kind of electronic, but
Oliver Tree is like
feels
it's like
more
if
real to
21
me.
Pilots was like club music, kind of.
Yeah.
it still
Almost.
feels. I don't know. There's amount of heart and soul. Like I'm not trying to hate on 21 Pilots, but they do feel like a lot more like an overproduced radio
mainstream.
rock, mainstream thing.
Yeah.
When Oliver Tree feels a little less like that, especially they're like earlier on.
I can see that. I can
21
see that.
Pilots. Yeah.
What about influences for you guys? What are you guys listening to, and what do you guys taking influence from?
My biggest influences, I would say Alice in Chains, number one,
Nice.
for sure. Richelieu.
Yeah.
And then I think I'd be kind of tied with Dispatch. Yeah, it's probably Dispatch after that. Yeah, okay, I'll go Alice in Chains, Richelieu, and Dispatch.
Nice. I really don't know any Dispatch. I don't think.
Really?
I don't know if I do.
Dude, I would like to indict you into the cult.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Show me sometime.
Dispatch
Yeah.
is kind of a cult.
You
They're
got to
great,
get
though.
into it though because it almost sounds it's really
lovey, sweet music,
Oh.
and
It's
then
become very poppy, but
Is it like
you know,
him?
it's really good poppy
Like
stuff.
love metal?
it's really thoughtful, like cult metal,
Love metal.
a love metal. No,
It's
it is
definitely not metal.
Like
They have a
him
couple
or,
songs that are
Sleep
really
Token?
Rage Against the Machine influenced.
Okay.
They even
which
covered
has
Pocket
been
Full
one
of Shells.
one of my biggest influences growing up has been like Rage Against the Machine and Audio Slave both.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
I think as I've gotten older, maybe a bit more Audio Slave than Rage, but one that I have taken a lot of inspiration from, but the main reason I bring it up is just because we all three hear so many people tell us that we sound a lot like System of a Down, which I still haven't fully figured out where the parallel is exactly. But I've heard it enough times that I'm starting to believe it, you know.
I think
and,
like in your yelling, sometimes you do remind
Yeah.
me of Surge.
I think
talking.
you're just your vocal tone.
I think it
sometimes
reminds
sounds
me
like
more
Serge's.
of Darren Malkovich. I forget his last
Malakian?
name.
I hear it a lot. I
Malakian.
hear it a lot in Slam Poet.
I don't think you sound like Darren Malakian. I think Surge does a lot of that like kind of yell thing that isn't quite screaming, but it's like yelling, which is kind of what you do a lot of the times because you don't really ever give it like a
in the night, with the cool regulator smoking cigarro.
yeah. You do that. You do that a lot. Like I don't know if it's necessarily that you're specifically. I mean, you are definitely got to be influenced by it, but I think it's just like your vocal tone. Somehow, when you're like yelling, kind of ends up in like a similar register.
It's
and
kind of like a harmonic yell. You know, that I can kind of see it. Well, and he's like an opera singer, though. Or,
Dude, he's-
so
he's
I've heard,
so
I
good
believe.
at everything.
Yeah, he's a great, phenomenal, powerful voice. Gosh, so yeah, some Rage, Audio Slave, System. There's a lot of them.
But you listen to a lot more like punk and folk stuff.
Yeah, there is a.
When I was listening to looking at your Spotify list, I was like, this is a lot of punk and folk.
Yeah, definitely. Dropkick Murphys was a huge inspiration as a kid. Not as much as I've gotten older, but I've always had this kind of like Celtic punk influence within me. The stuff my dad used to listen to a lot too growing up. Gosh, I was just thinking a lot about this earlier. And it's like usually, you know, it's hard for me to think of what actually influences me versus just like what I've kind of wanted to, I don't know, emulate or just what's, I guess, just inspired me to be a musician in general. I don't know if that's the same as influencing, but I was thinking about it on the way here, and Linkin Park was like a huge one
great.
for me as a kid.
Yeah.
Like I was like 6 years old, and my older brother had the Hybrid Theory album.
That was the second album I ever bought.
Yeah, I used to listen to that on repeat
You
constantly.
also were a rapper before you were a rock musician.
When I started writing lyrics, it was all like kind of rap stuff.
But I feel like you don't really portray that as much with Giantess. I wish you did.
I do a little bit.
That song
We-
that
we
you wrote,
busted
Pushing
out a little
Daisies,
bit.
had some kind of rap stuff. And so
Yeah.
every once in a while, it kind of would remind me, especially being rap with acoustic guitar, kind of remind me of Everlast sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard that before too.
Well,
I
also-
don't know a lot of Everlast. I know that one song.
What it's like.
Yeah, what it's like.
Yeah.
I also don't think your influences necessarily have to imply the art that you make.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, like I love cars. You know, I'm super inspired by old like Model A's and Model B's and shit like that. But that doesn't, or even like a '69 Camaro. It's like I love that shit, or like some modern like a Honda or something. That's not at all what I would ever like to work on or build. I mean, I would do it, but like if I like a car, I like a four-wheel drive piece of shit. That's what gets me excited, you know?
Yeah.
Like my Bronco, like that's not at all. That's not what I'm like primarily influenced by that gets me excited about cars.
Yeah.
I mean, that does too, but that's not the primary.
Right.
You know, your influence doesn't always have to actually equate to your art.
I'd say definitely in the top 3 would be Primus. Primus is a huge one for me. I've always been more inspired by bass players than I have been by just great guitar players for whatever reason. And I can recognize when someone's an incredible guitarist, and it still makes me jealous sometimes, you know. And I'm just like, I should have been a bass player or something, you know. But yeah, like Les Claypool. There's a semi-local band, 3 for Silver. It's a huge
they're so
inspiration for
They're
me.
great.
They're-
I watched them
great.
this last weekend at Country Fair at the Ritz, and they were great.
Yeah, their bass player is just next level, like world class, phenomenal. Lucas Warford. I think I'm pronouncing it right. But yeah, the guy's awesome. Met him a couple times. Really cool, smart guy.
Also a phenomenal writer.
Yeah, phenomenal writer, singer. It's kind of like Tom Waits and Les Claypool had an acid baby. That's what everyone says online about him.
Did I
Doomful.
remember right? Did Adam help produce them too?
He did, yeah. He recorded their album, The Way We Burn, from what I hear. I'm pretty sure he recorded and mixed and mastered it. I don't know all that he did to it.
Are they from Salem or where are they from?
Originally Portland. I think they're based in Bellingham, Washington now.
Okay.
As far as I know, it was originally Portland. They are kind of travelers, so I don't know exactly where they're originally from.
Band.
Yeah, they go and do a bunch of European and Russian tours and stuff. Like, it's pretty neat. They had like really long, extensive tours.
I thought they had a guy playing clarinet that looked Russian. Is it clarinet that he plays? I think?
Possible. They have a variety of musicians that come up, but it's always this kind of like acoustic exotica with like all these resonator instruments and stuff, and like it's really really
Dell on flute. Hell yeah.
Yeah, flute. They got. Is she new to the band? The flute player?
Dell. Yeah, they joined the band. I think 2 years ago, year ago.
Okay.
About a year ago.
Matt was friends with one of their old violin players too, Bex.
Bex played on my album with Chaos Collective.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Bex is a phenomenal violin player. Bex plays a fucking 5-string violin with Bex.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
An electric violin.
Incredible guitar player I saw just last summer at Country Fair. Jackie Venson. She's like Jimi Hendrix, just like shredding and like most beautiful voice, and she's just singing all this like really like complex melody vocal work while she's like doing all these like crazy zippy fast guitar solo stuff and leads, and it was just like it actually like made me cry. Like it was so good to witness, and like it's really beautiful and like really emotional music, but like it was just the raw talent I was seeing that just like brought tears to my eyes. It was incredible. Like, and I saw her 2 days in a row. Both times it made me cry.
Nice.
A lot of my music and inspiration for writing music has been always inspired by the Oregon Country Fair. I've been going there for 13 years. I think this last week was my 13th one.
Yeah, we just got done with Country Fair.
Yeah.
That was a blast.
Yeah, we didn't perform at it. Maybe one of these days we will.
Yeah.
But it was such a fun time. It's always kind of that's like my New Year's.
I keep saying if Country Fair was like a pinball game, I probably got the high score.
You did, yeah.
Charles got to go
Backstage
backstage for the main stage midnight show.
Yeah, that was sick. We watched March 4th play from behind the stage.
Yeah, they're an incredible
at like
local.
the height of Country Fair on Saturday night. That was super sick.
Yeah,
man.
It was a fun one.
We walked so many laps around the 8. I swear, I must have walked probably a half marathon Saturday night. It was crazy. We just like kept respawning at the top of the 8 near the Ritz and getting lost in the silent discos and all the crazy shenanigans along the way, and didn't sleep at all Saturday night.
And then woke up, stayed awake to find out your car was towed.
Right, yeah, I woke up and I couldn't sleep, and I wanted to just get home, get to a spot where I could sleep in my own bed and get some proper rest. But spent another probably hour and a half walking around the giant ass parking lot to figure out that my car had been towed to the lot in the very, very back of the place, and probably walked about like halfway out there and then managed to hop in with one of the tow truck drivers. And by the time I got to my car and I was just like so exhausted, it was like $100 to get my car out of the tow lot, and I was just like, I don't even care at this point, just get me out of here. I'm exhausted. I want to go home and sleep. But it was a blast. I mean,
I had to work that Monday. I
anything.
felt that way on Sunday too, but I had to work at the fair on Monday after everything was done, and I was just I just had to stick around Sunday. I was too hot. I couldn't sleep, and it was
there
a
was
blast,
no way I was
though.
going to sleep Sunday morning.
It was such a blast.
Such a blast.
And then, a couple weeks before that, we did the Gambler 500.
Yeah.
Which was a pretty awesome experience.
My first
it's kind of like
Gambler.
Mad Max meets Burning Man, basically. It's like Burning
Yeah.
Man for car guys.
Yeah.
Well, but it's a trash cleanup. That's the important thing.
That's the important thing to remember.
Buy a $500 shitty car, and you run it from pretty much the outside of the state to the center of the state, and you pick up trash all along the way. But the party at the end is just incredible.
The crowd was
seeing-
really fun. We had them at the beginning of our set. We had them like rev their engines before we were doing our sound
Yeah,
check.
it was like, gamblers, rev your engines. Charles told
Yeah.
me, like, right as we were about to start, we're standing on the stage. He's like, dude, tell them to rev their engines. Tell them to rev their engines.
They're
And
just
I was
waiting
like,
for-
are
for
you
an
sure? He's
excuse
like,
to.
yeah, no, do it. Seriously. And I did it, and they did
Just
it.
like
It
the
was
biggest
so
roar.
cool.
Everybody's just
Yeah.
I
tapping
really want
the
to
rev
bring
limiter.
a chainsaw on stage next year.
Dude, I kind of want to
I don't need
chainsaw my Nissan. I think we should chainsaw my Nissan during the set.
Oh
Turn it
my
into a
God.
convertible.
Turn it into a convertible? Oh
I mean,
my god.
I'd almost be down. Maybe a truck. Turn my little hatchback into a truck.
That'd be pretty badass.
Wow.
I don't know what we would do with the door because the door opens from the roof. But
Your car does not open from the roof. It's
the,
not like
the back door,
It's got a hatch.
the trunk door.
The hatch.
I don't have suicide doors.
No,
It's-
we'd have to map that out, but we could do it.
yeah, we could just add a little gate.
I mean, that's kind of wild because that's you saying goodbye to that car.
Do you guys
Oh
remember
no,
seeing
like it's gonna last.
the guy that
I'm gonna throw a tarp on
the
it.
guy that had the couch on top of the lawnmower? The lawnmower. Did you guys see that?
I don't know if I
He,
saw that.
it was like a driving couch. She basically put like a couch on top of like one of those like sit down lawnmowers. It was pretty awesome.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cool crazy
But I hope he
creations.
jumped the fire jump.
Yeah, I wasn't there for that night, so I didn't get to see.
Oh,
that.
you were
Yeah,
there.
I was wishing the whole time though,
Dirt
that I had my
bikers
moped.
like hitting this
Yeah.
jump that was on fire.
Would you do the
and,
fire
like,
jump?
I would
with
do the fire
moped?
jump on my moped for sure. Yeah,
You
I
would?
Yeah,
Oh yeah. Have you ever hit a jump on your moped?
I like hopped off the curbs and stuff.
Ah, that doesn't
I
count.
can bust
Yeah.
wheelies.
Do a bunny hop.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a cool one. They had a really sick stage. They had this like disco ball,
Dude,
or
yeah,
it was
that
like a
thing was
big
cool.
skull and crossbones that was turned into a disco ball and it
Yeah.
would spin
Dude,
around.
shout out Shane Brown. What an incredible artist.
Yeah,
And
Shane Brown,
also,
shout out.
Like sound guide lights, like putting that whole stage and managing it. Like, yeah, he's awesome.
yeah, they did
Yeah.
have a really cool stage. They had the disco ball skull, and then also the
as an
backdrop for the
artist.
stage was like a 3D wall with a bunch of like car parts and
Yeah, it was all,
zip
like,
ties
CNC.
and like just like gambler related stuff on it. It was like a 3D like backdrop wall. It was pretty cool. But yeah, they did a really good job with that. I thought the sound was great, and that was a really fun time. That was my first gambler ever, so it was cool
Same.
getting to see and experience that.
Our buddy Cameron that went with us, him and I ended up scoring a free Chevy Blazer
Right.
from a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
So
Gonna turn that into a gambler
we're
next
gonna turn
year.
into gambler next year.
Oh,
yeah.
what? You guys got a free Chevy?
Yeah, we got a free Chevy Blazer. It hasn't been started in like 15 years, but it's all there. It's got a 4.3 and 700 R4 in it.
She's a ripper.
She's a ripper.
Nice.
I mean, it will be. I hope it
Dude,
is.
that's awesome. Let's chainsaw that.
Oh, I don't hate that idea.
Dude. Do you think we could successfully chainsaw the car like in our set time?
I don't know about chainsawing through a roof. Like, I feel like there's better tools like a Sawzall because it saws all, you know? But I feel like a chainsaw when you...
Well, you know,
It's-
chainsaw, sawzall,
I had a cool
same
idea
thing.
for since it's like for picking up trash. What if you had like a magnet on the bottom of your car so you could just pick up all the metal stuff while you're driving?
I've seen this at the wrecking yard.
Yeah.
There was a truck that went through the wrecking yard with a magnet on the front of its bumper,
Yeah.
a long, wide magnet.
Yeah.
So that way, because whenever you, not the wrecking yard, at the scrap yard, when you take metal to the scrap yard, I don't know if everyone has this problem. I assume they do, but every time I go to the scrap yard, you get nails in your tires. And so it was a truck that had a magnet on the front
Oh,
of it.
smart. Yeah.
That picks up the nails.
Before they even get a chance to.
Yeah.
Wow, that's smart. Yeah.
Do you guys mind pausing this for a second?
Sure.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Gotta take a leak again.
Yeah,
Matt's
take
got
a
to
leak.
pee.
Okay, we'll take another little
Yeah,
pause.
nervous pee, I'm pregnant. That's it. Let's stop
Okay.
it.
What did we leave off with? I
All right,
forget.
we're back. We were talking about the gambler.
Okay, yeah. So that was a really fun show.
It was awesome.
We did have a pretty cool show right before that too. We did a little 2-day run of shows. We had a pretty fun show for our friend Danielle Byro's birthday. I wasn't really sure where we'd fit. It was a rap show mostly, and it was a bunch of different rappers on the show. And then we headlined the thing, played at the end, and it was awesome. It was super well received. We did a little jam, and I don't know, 4 or 5 of the different rappers that night. They all came up and did a verse, and it was super cool.
I thought it was kind of fun too that like we have a large enough repertoire of songs that we kind of just ditched what we've been doing, which is mostly playing the album lately, and then we just kind of were like, let's put together what we have that works as a party rock set.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
we did play
right.
some ones that we haven't played in a while, and
And it
we
was
have
just
a-
like, I don't know, 30 or
medley.
35 minutes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got the medley too. If you haven't heard it, it's like a big mashup of 25 songs. I don't think we could
The
ever.
intergalactic radio.
Yeah, the intergalactic radio. I don't think we could ever get the right copyrights for that. But
Well, I think we could. We just can't do it on Spotify.
yeah,
We do it on YouTube or a number of different things.
But hey, so it sounded like we had some questions. We put up a
yeah.
post, and
we made a little story post on Instagram, and one person, our friend Felicia, sent us a bunch of questions for this podcast. So we'll see here. I'll pick a few of them at least. She asks, any new ideas for band merch in the future? There's one.
I really want to make a long sleeve, the one I was telling you about, like just black long sleeve with the
Yeah.
Giantess logo.
Yeah,
Would be
so
sick.
with the Samuel Benjamin art, with the giantess floating in
yeah,
space.
that would be sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
which we
really
have
good
on
one.
our sticker.
Which reminds me of Joshua Cook.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did this artwork right here.
We love you,
Both the
Josh.
front
From,
and back. Yeah, Josh has done.
Reptile Love Child.
Yeah, from Reptile Love Child. Shout out them and Josh and Justice.
Thanks for the dope art.
Yeah, dude. He's done all of our artwork except for the one by Samuel Benjamin. And I had originally kind of asked him, like, hey, let's kind of like follow this kind of style of like kind of cartoony comic book looking. And he did. He nailed it. It all looks like it's, you know, he's a wicked good artist, honestly. Like,
He's
I've
got some good
praised him
flyers
lots for
too.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done flyers for us in the past. We have
He
a
also
few
filled-
things that a few like canceled show flyers. So we just have like these sick pieces of art that we haven't released to the public yet that still might become a flyer or something someday for it too.
He also filled in on drums for us a couple times too.
That's right,
which is
yeah.
yeah,
really cool.
they're
Yeah, it was-
multifaceted.
we had a really fun session
artist.
where he and I were both here with our drum kits, and I was showing him like side by side the parts and teaching them to him, and that was really cool. It was like a drum lesson. And like teaching him how to play the Giantess songs, and that was
actually
just
found
really cool.
I found a video just yesterday of that session
nice.
of the both of you. I
nice.
was thinking about putting it as one of the Spotify canvas for
Yeah.
for the release. I'm not sure which one it would be, but it's sweet footage. I'm just like going back and forth between both of you, just kind of trying to, teach him the songs. Because Josh, he did a tour with us. The one tour we've done, official tour. We drove to Ogden, Utah, to play a show with Sammy Brew, and
We
and
also
then
were in Idaho.
we stopped in Boise, Idaho along the way and did a little house show out there at the Musket House. Such an amazing time. Charles, he had work or something, couldn't make it. And like, it was kind of a last minute cancellation. It was like a week or two before. And so we're like, what about Josh? Maybe Josh can do it. Cause he'd done like a show or two with us prior. And Josh was down. He came to the studio, and we had a big session with Charles, kind of showing him some of the parts, some of the more like, tricky parts that are a little bit
some
more
of the
cemented.
details,
you
yeah.
know.
But I want
Anyways,
to get
let's-
to some of these
let's get
questions.
Oh
These
yeah,
questions,
yeah.
yeah,
So Josh, that was why I was bringing up Josh. Is he's got a really sweet picture cooking for us that we're thinking about putting on a T-shirt too.
Also
like
inspired by a Black Diamond graphic that
Oh yeah, and it was Charles's idea. Yeah, and it's like this knight with a sword and shield, and there's all these monsters in front of him on this road. It's pretty cool. Yeah. And I think he just finished it. He sent it to us during this podcast, actually.
nice.
But it's gonna be a surprise for y'all.
Okay, so let's see what do we got for questions here.
Other questions. Let's see here. Have any of us fire danced before? Which I feel like is a loaded question for me. And yes, I have. It's been a long time.
I have not.
I've singed my hair and my eyebrows a couple times.
He's got
I've-
a black eye.
He
I've
was
been
training
covered
for
from-
it for the Gambler show, and he gave
Yeah.
himself a hell of a shiner.
Yeah.
God, it was the hardest I've ever hit
Next
myself
year,
in the face
though,
with
Gambler,
anything.
you gotta get it.
I had a
And
real good black eye. I still have a lump right here. It's been like a month and a half or more. And I still have a lump on my freaking eyebrow. I
You're
don't know if
stuck
it's
on
ever
your
going to go
lumpy.
away, honestly. But yeah, I clocked myself.
Danny
good.
Lumps.
Yeah, so I did not spin fire at the Gambler. It's been a while, but yeah, I had a real good black eye for the last month and a half. If Giantess was an animal, what animal would we be?
Oh,
Dragon.
dragon.
Dragon,
Is
a
dragon-
Jabberwocky,
yeah,
maybe.
A Jabberwocky.
A lioness.
A lioness. No. What's the tiger lion? A liger.
A liger.
A liger.
Yeah, no, it'd be
Yeah.
a liger for sure.
Blue whale.
Oh no! Better yet, what's that one that survives in space? It's the water bear.
Oh, the water bear.
Water bear. Oh yeah, the little tiny organism thing.
Yeah. It survives in space.
Yeah, some sort of space creature.
Could also
probably.
be I think is it octopuses that they think came from space?
I think there's. A
I believe
theory.
it.
Wait, that's a theory, right?
No,
Yeah.
octopus
'Cause they
are
don't fit.
native to Earth.
Is it octopus or mushrooms? I can't.
Well,
remember.
mushrooms too. But yes, mushrooms they think
Octopi.
could have because they can survive oftentimes in space and the mycelium, whatever.
Yeah.
But the
Mycelium. You want to see mycelium?
No, I would love to see your mycelium. But the octopuses they don't like kind of fit in with a lot of our what do you call it, our
Creatures of the sea.
yeah, like in general, yeah. Maybe
Okay.
they think maybe they did. Anyways, what other
Lioness.
questions we got?
Let's keep going.
What are you guys' top three favorite shows we've performed over the years? So we've been a band for about 3
yeah.
years.
Oh, I say Gambler.
Gambler was
Some
a
of our,
was a cool one. That felt like I think that might have been the first like official festival we've played.
Yeah. That
Well,
was a
no,
fun
because
one.
we played at Darling.
But you know what? Some of
played
our
at Fair.
did
We
play
played
at
at
Darling.
Darling.
That
We
kinda
played at
counts.
Darling. We played
It
at
was
Fair.
we didn't have a great time.
We also
slot for that
started
one,
at
though.
Boombox, and that was us playing at Boombox. Like,
Yeah, that was a company of
wasn't
fools.
Giantess,
Danny
but-
Shoss.
I really liked our last two Infinity Room performances.
Yeah,
those
both
were
of those
incredible,
were.
yeah.
Those have been
Both of
great.
those were phenomenal.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. Chris always makes it
Sounds so good.
sounds so good.
Yeah, Chris
Makes us
Pelka,
feel
incredible
so good
And I
about
love
it.
playing that house drum kit that the Infinity Room had.
Oh, I know.
That drum kit was so. every time I play it, I'm like, man, this thing sounds
I
good.
asked
you
him
should
if we
buy
could
it
buy
off
it.
him.
Yeah.
No, I tried.
It's a great Ludwig
he
drum
said
kit.
no. He said there's too much personal.
I get it.
Exactly the same reason we wanted
It's
it.
sentimental, yeah.
There's too much sentiment.
It sounds great though. It's a Ludwig kit. It's got a 24-inch kick drum, and I think it's maple. But just every time I play that kit, I'm like, dang, I love
One
this
of
thing.
my favorites, I think, was the last Krampus show we did.
That was really good with John.
Yeah, with
Big
John.
John doing the
and
metal
then
band.
have John
we
on
had the
other
two
shows.
stand-up
Dude, it'd be sick to
comics
have
that
him
were
at Gambler
hosting.
with us. Can you imagine bending wrenches or a bumper or
Oh yeah.
Who were the hosts? It was Tina Hoekstrom and who was the other host? It was two comics in Salem.
Dash Thompson.
Dash Thompson, yeah, they were both hilarious, and it was so cool because like I think it was 3 bands, maybe 4 bands, and they just them hosting it. It just created this perfect segue for each band to jump up and start setting up behind them while they were talking and making people laugh. And
I
stuff.
also love
And,
any opportunity to have a visual artist while we're performing.
yeah,
Like
so
if
like
we can perform
John.
and there's like John.
John with his freaking incredible
Metal bending.
Krampus costume that he
And the Krampus
made
costume.
himself. Yeah.
Or like when I was playing with, were you guys there for that Company of Fools show that we had the dancer that did the aerial silks?
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do
the
remember that.
dancer with the aerial silks,
Yeah.
like that kind of shit. is-
Shelby something?
Shelby,
Yeah.
I can't remember
Evelyn,
her name.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shelby
Yeah.
Evelyn. Yeah.
things like that though. Like
Yeah.
anytime there's like a visual aspect too, like it's so fun.
Totally.
You know,
Agree.
it's great collaboration. Okay, what other questions we got?
What else we got?
2 more, I think. Let's see. So if you guys truly ran out of rocket fuel and got stranded in space, what are 3 items you couldn't live without? Beer. No. Our blaster.
I'm pretty without a blaster.
Without a blaster.
you gotta have a blaster.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna bring some fingerboards to space.
Oh yeah, some fingerboards. Oh, did you ever find your fingerboards?
I found 3 of 4.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. One of them's still out there at the country
Ooh,
fair.
maybe we'll find it next year.
You gotta drink some Rainier, you know, the official,
Fingerboards,
official beer
Rainier,
of Space Rock Pirate Grunge.
and a vape.
I think these are the reasons we'd be stranded in space.
Gonna have to have a vape.
These are the reasons.
You don't even vape, Charles.
I know, but you guys couldn't go without
yeah,
it.
no, you're gonna.
This
Yeah,
is
we
his
would drive you
bargaining chip.
crazy.
His bargaining chip.
Yeah. Gosh, a guitar. Would a guitar make sound in space? I don't think think so.
I mean, I think that's a given. Our instruments.
Not
that
for
is
stranded.
a solid question. Do guitars make sound in space?
But
drums
well,
make sound in
hopefully
space?
we would have some good oxygen tanks with us. Hopefully we're not out of O2.
I mean, like also, like if we're in full spacesuit, think about it. Just imagine the times we've been in full spacesuit when we are in space.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like playing an instrument. It's not doing anything in space. You know.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked for me in the past.
We need some-
We got to be back in the spaceship for it to work.
Right. Yeah. In space, it doesn't work, but when you're in the artificial gravity, yeah.
We need some
probably-
dehydrated butter.
We need some dehydrated butter.
Yeah, dehydrated butter. That's one of them for sure.
And honestly, when it comes down to the last of the dehydrated butter, it always is like more special.
I'll probably bring some joints to space.
That would
To
really
use up the rest of our oxygen.
help. Yeah, that would help ease out with the last of the dehydrated butter. You know.
Okay, what other
I think
questions
that
we
was
got?
at least 3 items. And then, and I think there's one more. Oh no, she said what podcast?
Oh gosh.
Oh yeah,
Podcast.
we need to talk about that at the beginning. You know?
We'll just bring
Because,
our
like, this-
podcast, and then we could
This
just
our podcast.
from space.
This is Charles
Is that
Chicachar
podcast?
Gallegos' podcast.
Well, I mean, we're gonna post it other places.
We're gonna
though,
post
so.
it on our page too, but it's gonna be on there too. Make sure you find Chicachar on YouTube.
Chicachar podcast.
Good question.
What's that?
What song would we cover in the future?
Oh, what were we talking about?
We've had a lot.
give me fuel,
of-
give me fire, give me that which I
Yeah.
We talked about doing that for the gambler. That would have been so good.
That would have been sick.
good.
Yeah. I mean, I
mean,
think in general, that's
There's
just
a ton of
good
them. I
cover
actually
for
would really
us.
like to for us to like get an hour's worth of covers just to be able to have as like another set, so we could do 2 hours if we needed to.
It would be nice to be able to hold down a whole night.
Yeah.
you know?
I think it would be really sick to do a full cover set of Beastie Boys.
Sure.
I would love to do
That
some
would be
Beastie
really
Boys.
hard, but it would be really, really cool.
That would be pretty awesome.
There's so many.
I would love to do some Audio Slave.
Yeah, dude. If we did
yeah.
a tribute band, I mean, for me, my favorites would be I'd be happy with either an Audio Slave or a
Metallica.
Beastie Boys.
Oh, Beastie Boys. Yeah.
An Alice in Chains song could be cool,
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
but we can't get Matt's hopes up like that.
Yeah, don't talk to me about that. I'm gonna phase that one out.
Matt's like, I already
the
know how to play
Facelift
every
album?
one of them.
Yeah, no, I don't know how to play every one of them. I do know a good amount of them.
There are a couple other people to
I
shout
think I have a
out
clip on my
here.
Instagram of me playing Nutshell or one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Nutshell?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's got that cool drum
That's got
intro.
that like.
Oh yeah, and there were a couple featured. There were a couple featured people on this too that did a couple little backup parts and stuff.
Yeah, we got Mia in the studio here with us.
Yeah, you
She's
wanna say
did
hi,
some.
Mia?
Yeah,
Come say hi,
Mia
Mia.
Mitchell did some who's and ha's in Doom Bop.
some who's
some
and
of
ha's.
the creepy who's and ha's in the
Who,
background.
what else do we have on there?
We got Braden Hirsch, who was also in Doom Bop. He actually helped me write Doom Bop back when we were like 20 years old, I think. So about
Yeah.
10 years ago, we wrote Doom Bop together, which has also transformed a lot throughout the years. Me and him will always, we're real good friends. We'll always bicker about who wrote what parts and whatever. He used to be in the band too for a little while. There were some creative differences though that
we
came
had
out
another
pretty
band
quick.
member, Uli, too. Was
Yeah,
playing
so that was the
Yeah.
that was the
kind of being
third
hype
person.
man for a minute.
Yeah, Uli was lead didgeridoo and also just awesome hype man. And
Did a little bit of vocals.
he did a little bit of vocals, but he mostly did on the album at least he did didgeridoo and Giantess,
Can't forget Emiglio.
the self-titled. Oh yeah, we can't forget Emiglio, which Matt forgot to bring him to the
Emiglio's
podcast today.
Very handsome guy.
He's just
He's
sitting
just-
alone in the
no,
dark right
he's
now,
not sitting alone
probably.
in the dark. He's very busy right now.
Yeah, he's a busy robot.
He got a new job. He's trying to work hard to compete with this AI technology.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Uli Solomon, he added the if you listen to Giantess and you hear the till the Giantess sings, "Rah!" It sounds like a big bird squawking in the background almost, and that's him on the didgeridoo. It's pretty cool.
Kind of sounds like a mammoth roaring.
Yeah, it does.
But also, I must say, being a three-piece band has been such a nice treat compared to like some of the other bands I've been in, where there's 5, 6, or however
Oh,
many
I
people.
know,
Traveling
yeah.
as a three-piece is so much easier.
Like just trying to
I'd
get
love it.
three
Yeah.
more people in the room with us right now, like that would have been a pain, I'm
would be
sure.
insane.
I
Yeah.
played in 4 and 5 piece bands before this, and which
It's
is
tough.
8.
Yeah.
You know?
Anything more than 4 is just like a lot to.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
deal
4
with.
is fine. There's something really special about being in a 3-piece band,
Yeah.
and also it's really special being in a 3-piece band with you guys.
With you guys.
Love you, Matador.
I love you too. I
Aw.
love you, Danny. I
Love you guys.
And you,
However,
Chickajire.
if you guys know a really sick keyboard player that could,
We
vibe
could
with
use a
us,
sick
we
keyboard
could
player.
Maybe deal with a
You
really
know,
sick
there
keyboard
might be
player.
some room for that. In
There
the
might
We'd
there
be
might
open to
yeah.
it.
We'd be open to it.
Gotta be the right fit.
Yeah.
All right. So before we conclude this, is there anything else that we want to talk about or go over?
Here, I gotta cough real quick. Can we pause it for a minute?
Go for it.
Dude,
you can just cough.
You can just cough.
Mia, come take Danny's spot. Come say hi, Mia. What's up,
I'm
Mia?
the new lead singer.
She's the new lead
she's
singer
the new
now.
lead singer.
She's taking your spot, Danny.
As our new lead singer, what direction would you like to take the band in?
Polka.
We're going to Europe.
Hey,
All right.
let's go. All right.
That's a lot of direction really fast.
Okay, guys.
These lead singers
I just
are
had
out of
this great
control.
thought. We
Who's got the
should
hookup on the
go
European tour?
to the Philippines, guys. I think we'll be very well received in the
We
Philippines.
might be.
Canada. So there have been some people listening to us on Spotify in Canada.
Charles is banned from Canada.
For a while,
That's right, yeah.
Canada
For being
was
too handsome.
actually
Yeah, too handsome.
it's changed since, but for a little while, Canada was like the top country for Giantess.
Wow.
And the United States
That's
came
good.
back in clutch because I was just like, man, really? Like,
I don't think it's that hard to tour in Canada, so it would be really dope if we could.
Who's listening to us in
Canada.
Canada? Who do we know in Canada?
I don't know, but if you're from Canada, let us know because we would like to meet you and
Tell
we'd
us
like
who
to
we
learn
shout
a
out
little
to
bit
Canada.
more about where.
Shout out to Canada.
We'd like to learn a little more on where we could play there.
For sure.
I've never been to Canada. I'd love to go.
I've been a few times. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking next summer we got to do a tour, guys.
Oh,
yeah, no, we gotta do a big tour.
Matador wanted to watch some body slams.
Yeah, I'd like to watch some body slams and just think about it.
All right, let's see what we got here. Look at Undertaker versus Big Show. We could do that. Yeah, we're kind of, or at least I'm kind of a WWE fan. I used to love this stuff when I was a kid.
Charles has got me.
look
into
at
it.
that ring.
Look at the cage match, dude.
Oh man, this is spooky.
Now this is super random, but I'm just always down for some body slams. You know what I mean? So, and Undertaker versus Big
Charles
Show.
is in jujitsu also.
yeah,
I do a little bit of jujitsu. Yeah, I've been.
Charles
asked
also ran a half marathon like
The-
a month and a half ago or something.
Yeah.
13 miles,
The
12
The Undertaker
miles.
is also Charles' dad.
Yeah, I think.
He used to have to wear outfits like this growing up for family photos.
Yep. No, dude, when I was a kid, I used to love watching wrestling. So yeah, I get down on this.
I never got too into it after being like 5 years old, but like you've shown
I
me
got
some
Danny into
that,
it.
yeah,
I got
it's-
Danny into it with Mankind versus Undertaker, the Hell in a
man.
Cell,
So
where he throws him
brutal.
off the top of the cell onto the announcer table, and then he gets back up, and gets slammed through the top of the cage again. He's like,
And they had
close
like
to his
thrown a
lips.
bunch of tacks on the ground and stuff
so
too.
brutal.
So it was like falling into tacks.
It's the perfect match to
Like,
get somebody like
I was
just shocked.
I was
and-
astounded
and drawn in.
I was truly shocked, honestly. I still haven't seen one that quite compares to it. But like that was cool. Undertaker is maybe
Legend.
one of the few names that I actually know, and it's because of that.
Okay, I'm just gonna leave it on in the background. We'll
We
turn the
did a-
volume down so we don't get too distracted here. But I'll just leave some body.
We did a
slams
fun
happening.
promo video for this Battle of the
Oh,
Bands
Matt,
that
you
we
need another
did.
beer? Mia's got you.
If you ever dig deep into our Instagram, you'll find a fun little promo video we did. Where
yeah.
we're all like
Doing
acted-
Macho Man, Hulk Hogan impersonations for Battle of the Bands that we did in Southern Oregon.
That was good. I felt very powerful.
Here we
That
are
was a
getting
fun
ready
promo.
for the
Yeah.
Battle
Very
of the
powerful.
Bands.
Let's see what else. Is there anything else we should talk about before we conclude this thing? What do we
we
go over?
probably won't be doing any shows for a minute here. We should probably touch
Oh
on
yeah,
that.
we should mention that.
Danny and Charles are going off to fight wildfires.
I have been a wildland firefighter for 12 years?
Can you tell by the mustache?
11 years? Yeah, I'm getting it ready for the season.
Firefighting season.
Yeah, it's firefighting season.
I could grow a mean handlebar.
And Charles, is
please
planning
do
on
when you go
doing it
off.
for his
It's
first
gonna be
year.
safer, honestly.
I'd probably safer if I have a handlebar stash.
It'd be
Yeah,
safer
dude.
than one
Honestly,
mustache,
people
yeah.
will respect you more.
Good to know. Good to know.
No, I mean, like, Charles is probably going to be the most physically in shape person in the whole fucking in the whole camp, you know. But
I'm here to fuck shit up.
But yeah, so that's what I've been doing it for a long time, and you know, it's a fun job. It's cool. It makes pretty good money. I would love to do a tour next summer, though. I've been talking about this forever. Every summer, it's like, okay, next summer it's going to be the big tour. Next summer is going to be the big tour, and then something always happens, and I need money, and then I'm like, well, better go sell my soul to save the forest here. And you know, it's cool. We're like little ants on a hill. You
So
know?
yeah, we actually didn't. There's a lot of things this summer that we had offers for that we just didn't
Yeah.
accept because we knew we were going to be doing this.
We've
but
had to turn down a lot.
I think
of
in the long
July
run
and
it's going to
August
be good
shows.
though, because you know, we'll be able to work hard this summer and stack up, and then I think you know, put some work in towards our new album, and hopefully, like you said, get the tour.
If we could finish our whole album before
Which,
next summer. But
by the way, if we have turned you down for a show around July, August time, it's nothing personal. They're
on call right now.
We can't
Yeah.
commit to anything because we are on call 24/7 for the summer. So you know, it's rough. It comes with its downside, but it's also seasonal work is awesome for musicians, and it's one of the reasons I've been able to, you know, do what I do as consistently throughout the rest of the year is because I get a lot of my work out of the way in those 2 or 3 months, you know.
So yeah, is there anything else?
Anything else about the album? Yeah, we did the studio, or well, we set up the little studio at the Airbnb on the coast.
We
That was
talked
an
about
awesome
that, yeah.
trip. Did a little bit of extra work outside of it. It still took a few months for us to get the album all in order.
Yeah.
And then, you know, right towards the end of it, Charles was like, we should send it off to Thaddeus.
Yeah.
That'd be a good idea.
yeah,
And
he
Which I'm
did a
super
really
glad
great
we
job.
did.
We're really
I
happy
went
with
and
it.
looked through and saw that he's done work for like the Max, who are freaking awesome up in Portland. And then he's done work for a lot of other great local bands around Eugene. And gosh, he even did something for like CeeLo Green for some Disney movie or something.
think
And
I
I was
saw
like,
that.
yeah, this is the guy. Let's go with this guy.
Yeah, at
And,
that point, it was really nice too to just like get
And
it
he
out
did
of
an
our
awesome
hands
job.
and like let somebody else kind of take care of that part of it, because I think by that point of the process, we were so like deep into the mixing and all that it was just kind of hard to
see the broader picture.
see the broader picture. Yeah, and he just did a really good job of just like making everything sound nice and even and just bringing it together. We with like the length of the tracks, you know, like the transitions and stuff on the album, and he just did a really good job with all that. So thank you, Thaddeus.
Thank you, Thaddeus Moore of Liquid Mastering.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else or not. I
don't
think
really
we
know
covered
either.
we
I
covered
I want
a
to
lot
give
of
one
ground
more
here.
big shout out to Adam. I feel like we
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
quite put
we
enough
love
gravity
Adam.
on how much he helped us along with this whole process from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
From, you know, the very first release, Space Cadet,
For sure.
to the whole album. You know, he's been a crucial member the whole way,
Yeah.
and been a huge, significant help in both just being able to bounce knowledge to us and also have just technical skills that we don't have.
Well, and like not
you
only
know.
has he just been like there to perform the service of like, yeah, let's record you and mix and master, he's also just like, here's what I'm doing. I am a really good teacher. Please learn from me.
Yeah, we've
Which
both
takes,
learned a
like-
lot watching.
Yeah, it's like solid. It's like what a solid dude.
Yeah.
like that's like a teacher friendship,
Mm-hmm.
gig work situation all at one time.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we've-
can't thank him enough.
Yeah.
we love Adam.
We've been really fortunate through a lot of the friends that we have and a lot of the people that we've just met through being a band that have all helped us along the way. So, yeah, everybody who has been a part of this, you guys freaking rock, and thank you.
Sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you guys so much. Let's
to our
see.
album.
Listen to our album. Comes out Friday the 25th.
Yeah,
right?
this week on Friday, it will be out officially. We have physical copies. If you want, you can get a hold of us, and we will get one shipped over to you. And then, yeah, it's also, if you want to hear it early, which I'm not sure when we're going to put this out, but if you want to hear it early, it's on Bandcamp at the moment. We put it up there about a week or two early.
Also, hit us up if you want a disc, if you want a physical copy, we
yep.
can get you one.
We deliver discs.
Follow us on Instagram, Giantess, was it _music?
Yeah, Giantess_music on Instagram.
I'm going to put this podcast on my podcast channel, Chikachar Podcast, and we might throw it up on the Giantess page too.
Yeah,
as
we'll put it
well.
on the YouTube as well. There's Giantess YouTube as well. We've got a music video, and then like we've got a live video on there.
Follow
Maybe a
each of
couple
us
other
on
little things.
Instagram. I'm Chikachar. Matador is was it
Matador makes music.
Matador makes music,
And it's
Matador makes
music by
music,
Danny
yeah.
Shaw for me. Follow us on there. Yeah, that's honestly where you can keep most up to date with what we're doing, especially that Giantess_music page. But yeah, beyond that, get a hold of us by email too. We've got an email, giantess.music.official@gmail.com. If you have any questions or if you want to chat it up a little bit, just don't be afraid. Hit us up. We see that email all the time. So, and if we forget to reply, just send us another message because sometimes things get buried.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
All right. Well, sweet. I think that's. I think we should end it there.
yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
you.
All right. Thank you
thanks
guys
for
for coming on, and we'll do this again sometime.
Sick.
Peace.